Absent-mindedness is a major psychological problem. Yes. But it has personal implications, but not social unless sometimes. Heard of the story of a absent-minded professor who was very busy, very popular, very busy. He was writing books and producing books every year. So one day he got a letter in the mail saying, "Sir, you are a very well-respected man in this college, in the university, and in the society. Hesitantly we point out that your wife is not loyal to you, but she is involved with another man. You need to do something about it." Well, he ignored it. "I'm busy, I need to finish this book. The manuscript has to go to the press, I have a deadline. After doing it, I'll take care of it." So he got another one in another week. And then in that one said that, "Seems like you did not either take seriously or you did not believe what we said. Well, this is a warning. If you don't do something immediately about it, you will lose your job." Well, he said, "This trouble, I need to do something, but I'm on the deadline, let me wait for another week." Then he received a letter again and said that, "If you want more proof, at 5 o'clock in the evening, you go and watch, wait in such and such junction, you will see your wife coming holding hands with another professor of the same college." And so he said, "Well, if that gone that far, then I must do." So he has taken a gun and loaded and gone and waited there for half an hour. Then he realized, "Man, I'm not married. How can I have a wife?" That's an absent-minded professor, So sometimes you are absent-minded. Yes. Yeah. And forgetfulness is another problem when you get certain, dementia and all these things. Parkinson disease people have this problem, dementia and all these things. So one Sunday school teacher was teaching 10 Commandments. After a while the children begin to laugh. And the teacher couldn't understand. He said, "What's so much to laugh? If I have forgotten one or two, that's, I'm 75-year-old. So the student said, 10 Commandments have already gone 15 in number. You are trying to remember the next two." So all these sort of things happens, Yeah, and so nothing to worry about. As you're getting older and older, this brain cells cannot retain the informations. You have, your brain is like this. You've seen the brain. Okay, one hemisphere keeps the information, the other hemisphere thinks. Your rational thinking. So some people are very good in thinking, very logical, reasoning thinkers, but they're very poor in retaining. So whatever they have thought, they forget. Some people are very good, this hemisphere is good, so they can retain, but they cannot think. They cannot think, but they can retain whatever. Some are good on both. They are the super brilliant people. They can think, they can retain. You decide which one you are. If you lack on one, you are not a psychological patient. This is a problem. As you grow older, usually your memory part, entropy principle takes over. So it's there.
Family normally compliments.
Yes. Family compliments, that's true. The best compliment is when my wife also forgets. If I forget her birthday and she also forgets, the problem is not there. So that's why it's all really complimentary. So in some things it happens like that, Yes. So, supernatural mind, the Christian psychology, the Bible teaches and acknowledges that not only that man has a mind, but there is an absolute supernatural mind which controls the mind of the man. And that mind even works in our consciousness. So that right and wrong, we discern. I'm talking about a born-again Christian. The mind works in the other person also, but the other person does not acknowledge it usually, He considers that as unnecessary interference in his personal life. So if his mind tells him that you are wrong, he tells his mind, go mind your own business. The Bible presents man in a dichotomous way. A physical body and a non-physical mind, soul, or soul, spirit. Man is a dual ontology. The view that human nature consists of two fundamental kinds of reality, the spiritual and the physical. That's essential to our psychology. The spiritual or the non-material has two aspects, the soulish aspect and the spiritual aspect. But there is a material aspect and there is a non-material aspect. Both are, both are equally important as far as I'm concerned. If by priority of creation, God first created the body, right? So the priority of creation, the body was created, and then the spirit was. Of course, he could not have created the spirit because spirit usually needs, it has independent existence, because when we die, our spirit goes and independently exists. But seems like in this world to exist, it needs a body. Anyway, God created the body first. The body is very important, and God's program for this body is not over. Your and mine body, when it dies and decay, the Lord is going to raise it up, the same body, but in a different glory. It's a different glory. But the same body. In other sense, if the DNA is going to be determined, the same body, they will say that, no doubt. It's the same body. I don't know, when the Lord said he will call names, what he will call. Will he call, if he calls Tom Matthew, there may be another dozen Tom Matthew to come forward. So he may not be calling Tom Matthew, or, he may not be calling Abraham Thomas, but he will be calling probably our DNA number or something, because nobody else will come up, only us. Now people ask, how is it going to happen? I don't know. I simply say that my God is big enough to do it without my advice. He knows, so it's not a problem. But we need to acknowledge this fact that we have these two aspects, and both aspects are equally important. There is a danger in Christianity of overemphasizing the spirit, and that leads to asceticism. They wanted to kill the body so that the spirit will be liberated. Starve the body so that the spirit will be liberated. No, Bible does not teach asceticism at all. Eat well, sleep well, bathe well, all take care of your body very well. There is no room for asceticism in the Bible. The doctrine, touch not, taste not, no. That was a heresy in the early church. In Colossians and all, it is dealt with, that heretical problems. The other problem is that you overemphasize the body. That will make you spiritually sick. You will become a carnal man. If you are a believer, you become a carnal man. A lot of people that they are worried about what to eat, what to drink, what to wear, where to live. They're all physical part. So much concerned about the quality of your mattress, the temperature of your room, the quality of your food, the quality of the water you drink, and so much. All the money you earn and all the time you spend thinking for the body, to make the body more comfortable and more better. And you sacrifice the spirit. Well, that's very dangerous. Such people, they're going to have disaster. When they find out that the body they're so carefully groomed, one day going to be eaten by the worms. That thought is A sobering thought. So we need to have a balance. My body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. My body houses my spirit, soul, spirit. All expressions in this world comes through my body. My body is needed to relate with the physical world. Anything. I cannot do anything in the world without my body. The world. But I cannot do anything in the spiritual world without my spirit and my soul spirit. So we need to have that balance. A very good balance. Always pay attention. Always pay attention. Yes. Laboring maybe by number of hours, we may be laboring more for the body, I don't know. Usually a person works 8 hours, right? So I will say 8 hours and then you have 16 hours, what do you do? Usually you don't work for your body, you work for some other thing. What is that? So I will say a good division will be 8 hours for your, body, or 10 hours for your body cares, and the rest of it for your soul spirit. The soul and the spirit, or your mind and the spirit. That may be a good combination. In the mind and the spirit comes your physical relations with wife, children and all that. Body relations, also mind relations. It's combined. I work to provide the food for my family. See, that's my, responsibility for my family. But I also take my family out for a holiday, to a good place, for a picnic. I go out, Of course, the wife has to be interested. Not all wives are interested to go out to this and that. They consider that's a waste. You ask your wife, you come to go to this art gallery, there is an art exhibition of the paintings of Ravi Verma or, some other person. Usually the answer is, oh, who wants to see paintings? Yeah, they don't appreciate some of them. But there may be other things they enjoy. Some of them enjoy the music, some of them enjoy maybe going to a garden, some of them enjoy going to see a nice drama. Don't go to cinema, movie houses and all that. They're dirty places. I have never gone to one. I don't know what is inside. But I don't think anything good there. Yeah, so the Bible presents this dichotomous view and it emphasizes both. In Matthew chapter 10 verse 28, our Lord said that we should not be fearing the one who could put only our body to death, but not the soul. We should fear, on the other hand, the one who could put to death both the body and the soul spirit. In other sense, we should fear somebody who can hurt both. If it's only the body, nothing serious. Nothing serious. But body and the spirit, yes. Many times Satan is attempting not to kill our body, but to kill means he cannot annihilate or anything, but to put to sleep the activities of the soul and the spirit. He may misguide the activities of the soul to be involved in the pagan art and the pagan music and the pagan this and the pagan that. There is more to offer there. Satan is very busy. For example, the rock music. Now Christians are watching the rock music. I don't know how can you watch rock music. Lot of young people are watching rock music. They call them Christian rock. Is there something called a Christian rock? Yeah, there is a Christian rock. That's the Lord Jesus Christ on which the church is built. I call that the Christian rock, Yes. Yes, they say that the words are good, the screaming and all, no. The music is not to disturb your mind, but to quieten your mind, right? That's the purpose of music. When Saul was possessed by an evil spirit, David was summoned to play the harp or the violin, whatever he was doing it. And then the demon, he quieted down. Now the music is to wake up all the demons. It really is. You know, and the people also, you can just see the movement up and, they all go like that. You immediately know that if your child is born with this movement, what will you? You'll be happy? No, because the mother was listening to the rock music all through, the child is moving like this. It's terrible. It's terrible. All this disco dance and cinematic dances and all these things and the music that goes with it. You can go. I have no problem in listening to some Hindustani music or Carnatic music. I'm not a fan of Indian music as such. Because they all have the temple themes and all that, That's the reason. But Hindustani music, some of them are good. I do not want to say that. But, Western music is, originally, the old classic musics were all more Bible, oriented, and therefore I love them. They're smooth. When I go for an orchestra or something, my mind is just calm, and my hands doesn't sweat. My feet doesn't move. I can just sit there and listen. Psychologically, they are healthy. The modern music is psychologically not healthy. Not healthy. Now Western churches, they have, 3 sessions, 3 worship sessions. One of them they called them the old, they called the traditional music, where they sing how amazing grace and, how great thou art and, and all those great hymns of worship, and they have the piano and the organ and all that thing, and everybody put on the tie and the jacket and all that. That's an awesome, Then they have the contemporary. The contemporary, there is a little mild. Then they have the modern. That's the, that's a harsh, hard metallic guitars and all that, electric guitars, and you just, all those things, people wearing tight, jeans and everything, and then you can look at their face and they can sometimes these are demonic. There are people who go for all 3. Yeah, they come in the morning very dressed up and they take it all off and come for the second. Once the time you come to the third one, you don't need very much clothes on you. Because you are all very modern, It's all terrible, What I meant is we need to speak out on these things. It's all part of the psychology. You need to tell our young people that you will have a psychological problem. Your mind won't be normal. It's like those who are drinking, they come after time, the 4th stage of the drinking, they start shivering. Once they start shivering, the Bible permits you give them to drink. That's why those who are going to, give them, because there is no way of taking them out. So early in the morning you have to serve them. If you don't serve them, they cannot do anything. When some booze goes in, they feel a little better. But there is no hope. Their liver is gone. Everything terrible. The same thing happens. Some of these people have to have something in their ears to study. Yeah. They say, I cannot concentrate without this. So what kind of a concentration is when it is being blasted in your both ears? Music. See, they are not normal. Usually people study in a quiet place, right? No disturbance. These people say we cannot study unless we are disturbed mentally, and so I say that you are not normal. Abnormal. So we need to train our young people. It's a psychological problem. Honestly, it's a psychological problem. Their mind is going after the wrong things. In 1 Thessalonians 5:23, Apostle Paul made clear distinction between man's material part and the immaterial part. He says, let God sanctify you wholly, your body, your soul, spirit. Sanctification needs 4 baths. And A Christian psychologist is very much needed to have the body, soul, spirit sanctification of our young people. We need to. So I recommend very highly that some Christians, study psychology very well in some Christian schools, and if possible, go get a degree in psychology. You can be a clinical psychologist, be a licensed family psychologist, counselor, economic counselor. You can have counsel in every areas of it. In Mumbai, you can have a thriving business. And it's a great ministry. It's something that you help, just like a medical doctor can help you, heal you. You can minister spiritually to people. You don't have it. Your motivation need not to be money at all, but you get some money. Yes. But people, I don't know, believers, I have not come across anybody who is, trained to be a psychologist. So counseling has to be done by people like us who are not really, psychologists. We are not. Only some education in psychology. I cannot claim I'm a well-trained psychologist. No, I'm not. But I do, because the necessity comes. The Bible never undermines or undervalue the body. It sees both the body and the soul spirit as essential part of man, and therefore we should not overemphasize one at the cost of the other. We need to have a balanced view of man. Sir John Eccles, one of the world's most respected neurophysiologists, is of the view that dualism is the only explanation for the many of the phenomena of the consciousness. What other explanation could be given to the individual's unity of identity? Nothing. A child born, the child, when start talking, the child say, I am. That's his identity. The child become a teenager, what does the child say? I am. Now he grows up to a young man, married. He still say, I am. Now he is in the midlife. Even in the crisis he say, I am not well. I am a father. I am a husband. I am. Then he comes into the mature old age after midlife. He still say, I am. Then he comes into the old age, about 70. He still say, I am. So the identity of I am is never changed. Though you change tremendously. When you were born, your mind was very passive. Your body was very flexible. Your spirit was almost silent. When you become a young man, a child, your conscience begin to work. Your mind is little more active. Your spirit is just initiated into relationship with God. Then you became a youth. Your body changes, the passions of the body changes, the pursuits of your mind changes. You are interested in things that you are not interested. You begin to show interest in a man, young man or a young woman. Before you were not. You think of marriage. All these changes come. Now you are a graduate of theology, and you are a preacher, you are an elder, you are a deacon, still you are the I am. So how can you retain your identity all through these stages? It's possible only because you are a composite person. Your body doesn't change, it only enlarges. Every cell in your body changes in 4 years. Once in 4 years, every cell dies and replaced by new cell, but you remain you. Your conceptions, your hypotheses, your presumptions, your presuppositions, they all change as you grow, but you remain you. Spiritually you change. Once upon a time you were a carnal man, but now you are a spiritual person. But still your identity remains. How is it possible? because that's the way God created. That's Christian psychology, This is the reason why a psychologist can treat correctly a person. Is the man altogether changed then? From adolescence you come to the youth, though you altogether change, then I will be treating a different person, right? And from youth, midlife, you are completely, totally changed, your body changed, your spirit soul changed, then I will be treating a different person. No, I'm treating the same person. This is amazing, isn't it? Why in the medical field they have a child's, pediatric surgeon? Why they have? The pediatric surgeon won't entertain a teenager, an adolescent. Says that you are too old for me, for my consultation. I deal with only little children. Why? My kidney has become too large? What's wrong? See, they fragmentize. The secular viewpoint of man is that he is a becoming person. For the Christian, he is a being, not a becoming person. For the secular psychology, he is a becoming person. You know what becoming person? You are constantly changing, in a constant flux of change. You may not be the same person tomorrow. No. You remain the same person. A true Christian, he grows and matures, but he does not change to the extent where he ceases to be he. You never cease to be you. Yeah. Maybe your weight changes, your shape changes, color of your hair changes, or maybe even few hair drops off. Yes, but you remain the same. So a Christian psychologist can deal with very well. He will ask your childhood experiences, he will ask your habit formation, the way you are raised up, brought up by your parents, how you married that woman, what sort of relationship you have before marriage, premarital relationship, postmarital relationship, what are the issues you are having. You can go all the way to the old age, because we remain the same. With changes, yes. Changes for good, some. Changes for bad, some. Yes, I admit. But there are changes. You never cease to be you. We all. God has created man a composite person with the capacity to change, but you are never a becoming person. The whole theory of evolution is that. They are expecting that man will become something else superior. They are waiting for the next big bang. And they say, we don't know what's going to come out of it. With the second law of thermodynamics and all that, I don't know how can they say it, but they are expecting something better. Maybe a wing will come on so that he can fly around. Or a tail may come around so somebody can hold on him and stop him. Or maybe two horns will come on so that he have, mechanism, doesn't have to carry a gun, but he has his own weapon. No, sir. No. None of these things going to happen. So it's very important, psychology is very important. When you think about psychology, these far-reaching consequences are there. Yes. So John Eccles was right. The unity of identity remains because God has made us this way. Another scholar has said, even though every one of man's cells undergo, constant change, every man retains his identity substantially. He is able to say, I am in 20, or I am in 30, or I am in 40s, I am in 50s, I am in 70s, I am in the last day. Man must have an unchangeable part that may grow but not die. Cells die, but soul grows and changes, but do not die every day. so that I remain I. Man is more than brain consciousness. Man is more than muscles. The supernatural element in man remains the same, causing him to say, I am in 20, in 30, in 40, in 50, and 60. If man did not have that God consciousness in him, he is a changing being.